Yo guys, what's up? It's Neil here from Post to Post. Welcome to the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. If you're new, would love it if you hit the subscribe button because we are doing jersey concept videos like this all week, okay? This is a part of a series. We started yesterday. We're doing 8 in a row, and I'm getting caught up on a bunch of sets that I have. Now, this one is completely different than anything that we have ever done before. This does involve hockey because we're talking about jersey concepts, but this isn't a hockey team. We're not talking about a different league or the NHL or anything like that. We're actually combining something that's not even a sport. We're talking about music, bands, artists, and combining them into hockey jerseys. Because, actually some artists who perform on stage and stuff, sometimes you actually see them wearing custom jerseys of their own band and stuff. So although this doesn't make sense, it kind of does in the same way because it has, it's gone from a conceptual stage to an actual product that the artist has worn on stage. So even though this is kind of silly to look at these concepts, there might be some truth here. These might actually come into play. It's not unrealistic to think that. So I'm pretty excited, and I have to thank Mike Julian for sending these in. He is the artist today. He's provided 31 jersey concepts of different artists and bands, and I have already looked at them. This isn't going to be a reaction video. This is going to be a ranking video. I've looked at them all. I've ranked them. I've tried to keep my personal music preferences out of this. Now, most of these bands are rock or punk bands, some classic rock as well. But so I think the majority of the people watching here are going to know most of these bands, and you're going to like them, okay? They're pretty good. I'm really excited to show them to you. If you guys want to come up with your designs like this, maybe it's not just hockey, maybe it's you branch out into a different sport and you want to come up with some concepts and you need a template, well, you can go to sportstemplates.net and then use code POST2POST, get yourself 10% off, get this jersey template, and get other templates as well. There are all kinds of on the site. There are footballs and soccer balls and basketball courts, and there's just all kinds of amazing templates on Sports Templates, and there's new ones coming, which I'm really excited for. So if you want to get in on the action, come up with 31 or 32 different designs as a set, send them in for me to review or react in a video. Definitely do that. Pretty excited about it. All right, let's get into this. Like I said, 31, we're going to start with my least favorite, go all the way to my favorite. Starting off with number 31, I have put the Bieber Leafs. Yeah, so if you guys aren't aware, Justin Bieber is a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and he's also actually a pretty decent hockey player. I am not a Justin Bieber fan. I'm not saying that he's not talented. He is. I would put him on the side of cringe versus enjoyable, but he is a kind of a talented hockey player, and he's a big Leafs fan. So it's kind of neat to see this in here, but yeah, not really too much different than the actual Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. The logo in the middle is the one from the 90s or the previous generation jersey, which I prefer more than the current one. But yeah, not super big on the JB on the shoulders. Let's go to number 30. I have put the Beatles. I actually kind of like the Beatles. There's a really good movie recently about the Beatles, and it was wonderful. But this concept is very busy. We've got a flag on the right shoulder, or our left as we're looking at it. We've got their logo on the right, and then we've got a different logo in the middle, Lonely Hearts, and a lot of texture down along the bottom, a lot of different striping, a lot of different colors. So from a jersey, perspective, it's a little too busy. The colors aren't too bad. It does kind of feel classic and nostalgic, but quite busy. Number 29, I put Linkin Park. I actually really like Linkin Park. I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s as a kid, so that's when they were the most popular, and listened to them endlessly for nights and weeks and days. So big fan of Linkin Park, but not so much this jersey. And it really comes down to the arms for me. Those look like kind of flames. I'm not familiar with their album art. I'm assuming that some of this is taking off of some of the albums that they've produced in the past. But it looks, the arms, the flames and stuff, it looks unfinished, or yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't quite match on a jersey for me. Like the colors, I like that really deep burgundy color. That's something that we don't really see in hockey too much. There's a couple of teams in a few different leagues around hockey in North America that use it, but not enough. Should be used more. Number 28, put the Misfits. I think an older band. I'm not super familiar with the Misfits. I think they're punk, if I'm not mistaken, and there are a lot of punk bands in here. I do not like punk, okay, at all. So some of these bands I've actually never heard of in this list, but I'm pretty sure the Misfits were like old, or one of the original punk bands, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I am not a music expert or band expert, artist expert. But this jersey here is the striping that starts and then forms into drips. I assume that's off their graphical assets, like from their albums or whatever, or their merch, and that's fine. But it looks out of place on a jersey, I feel. And maybe you're a huge fan of the Misfits, and you're like, no, Neil, this is exactly what it should be. Hey, maybe that's true, but I'm not super familiar with the Misfits, so I rank them low. I'm mostly judging this one based on the jersey. Number 27, the Smashing Pumpkins, actually a band I really like, but these colors are a little poopy. They don't quite mix. The really kind of forest desaturated green with that actual kind of rusty pumpkin color is not the best combination. It is, yeah, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. This mostly comes down to color combination here. The striping is fine on the jersey. It's a little busy, but yeah, those colors not working for me. Number 26, I put Flogging Molly. Not a band I'm super familiar with. I have heard of them. Couldn't tell you a single song that they sing, but I have heard of them. Now, the four-leaf clover, or the shamrock, I think they're called, on the arms as a bit of a texture. It almost looks like snowflakes. I don't know. I haven't decided if that's a bad thing or a good thing yet. They're a little distracting, but they're not too bad. I actually don't mind the brighter green and the brighter orange, so this jersey that we're seeing now is kind of the more saturated version of the jersey that we just saw, which I didn't like. But since the colors are brighter here, the combination works a little bit better for me. So it's very Irish. It's very cool. So not my favorite though. So it's ranked fairly low. Number 25, I put the Beatles. So we have another Beatles one here. This one's a little bit better. You can see the yellow submarine there on the arms. The classic, everyone knows the Beatles for that image walking across that crosswalk. And yeah. That's really what it comes down to. I like the bright blue, I like the yellow, those work together. Otherwise, fairly, not really boring. Boring's the wrong word. Not really a boring jersey, but not much else going on that I super love. Number 24, a band called Neck Deep. Never heard of them. Never once heard of them. I have no idea what this band is or what they sound like. Probably punk. But I really like that shade of blue. It's not really a sky blue, maybe just a little bit lighter than a sky blue, with that orange and with that kind of yellowish beige color. It kind of looks good. I really like it. I'm not sure if the flag fits on there because you're introducing a red, which is similar to the orange. You're introducing a blue, which is a different shade than the blue that's already on there, so it feels a little out of place. But the rest of the jersey, I kind of like that blue with those other colors. It looks good. Number 23, Pantera. Heck yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're getting into some Neil music here. I don't know if this jersey is perfect for Pantera. I think maybe there could have been some better designs, but I do kind of like it. And I like that it's green because if you're not aware, Pantera actually does the goal song, if I'm not mistaken. And again, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Pretty sure Pantera does the goal song for the Dallas Stars. So I like seeing that Dallas Stars almost green in here. That makes sense to me. Number 22, Julie didn't actually put a team name down here below, but if I remember correctly, I don't recognize the logo in the middle, but that boy that's sitting on the swing and the yellow shirt on the arms, I'm very certain that is The Offspring. If I'm wrong, again, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's The Offspring. Now, we see an interesting gradient. It's almost not a gradient. It's almost full striping at the bottom of the sleeves, but it's just kind of blurred or gradiented. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. Right along the edges. So it's a really harsh gradient. And then there's that really subtle gradient from dark blue to black throughout the jersey. I actually really like that. That looks pretty good. The gradient along the bottom though, along the bottom of the arms, it's pretty harsh. Number 21, Green Day, a band I'm obviously familiar with. Used to listen to them a little bit back in my high school days, but a band that I'm not super high on. I don't really like them that much, but I do like this jersey. It kind of reminds me of, I think there's a team in the QMJHL called not the QMJHL, maybe it's the MHL, Maritime Hockey League, called the Dieppe Battalion, maybe? Oh, man, there's so many teams running through my head of different leagues, but I feel like that's close. But or maybe it's the Dieppe Commandos. Maybe that's it. But this looks pretty good. I like the green, primarily in this jersey. It feels very military or army. He's holding that kind of heart grenade in there, so that does make sense. Number 20, Sum 41. Fun fact, I actually saw Sum 41 back in concert in 2004 in Moncton. A very, very long time ago. Some of you probably weren't even born then. But yeah, Sum 41, it's a decent jersey. It's balanced okay. You got a small X at the top and a bigger X, but they're offset on sides, so it does balance a little bit. The colors are nice. Blue and red always look good together. Got the Canadian flag in the middle, so yeah, pretty decent. Number 19, Parkway Drive, a band that I think is a little bit more on the more rock side, or maybe approaching metal, but I'm not super familiar with them at all. I've heard of them. I probably maybe heard one or two of their songs. Couldn't tell you the names of them. But this is an interesting jersey. It doesn't feel super NHL because it is so graphical. I would assume that most of this jersey or all of this jersey would be screen printed, and then this would be maybe stitched on the front. These are the things I think about out loud when I'm looking at these concepts. How would you actually physically make the jersey? So I actually think it would look good if it was made, but it is very, very busy. This seems more like an ECHL jersey in a way. But again, this isn't about the NHL. This is about conceptualizing band jerseys. So it works, just a little bit busy. Number 18, Run the Jewels. Never heard of them. Never heard of them, not once. But I do like the two shades of blue going on here, a dark blue and then a lighter blue, and then that kind of copper color offsetting it. So not the best combination, but it does look pretty good. I do like it. Number 17, we got Van Halen. Now, if you're familiar with Eddie Van Halen's guitar, he does use this kind of design, or did use this kind of design on his guitars. And it was, that's kind of what they were known for. And, rest in peace, Eddie. But this is awesome. I really, really like this jersey. Not so much for the jersey itself. Like, if you're not familiar with Van Halen, you're going to look at this and think, what the heck is this? Like, this is ridiculous. But if you know Van Halen, then you know that this completely makes sense. There wouldn't be a jersey that was made that wouldn't look like this. So Mike nailed this one. Number 16, Rival Town. Never heard of them. Never heard of them at all, but I just from a jersey sense, I like this a lot. I like the maple leaf on the bottom of the arms. The kind of weird font along the top there for the shoulder patches. That looks awesome. Two colors going on here, so it's not busy. Just blue and just white. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I like this one a lot. Number 15, Bob Marley. Bob Marley is coming in here. We got the 420 on the arms, which is a little comical. And, of course, one of his graphical assets in the middle there that he's used in the past. And this is exactly what it should be. Like, if Marley did, or, was still alive and did have a jersey, it would probably look quite similar to this, if not identical. So, again, Mike nailed this one. Number 14, Blink-182, a band that I don't really like, but I did listen to a little bit growing up. And it's kind of a ridiculous jersey because there's pink on one top left section and then blue on the one bottom right section. So it is kind of hideous in a way, but I love those colors, those kind of Miami Vice colors, the pink and the blue together, just bright, kind of in your face. So it is kind of a ridiculous jersey, but I really like those colors together. Number 13, Beartooth. Feel like maybe I've heard of them in the past, but I couldn't tell you a song that they sing. Orange and black always look good together. The logo in the middle feels perfect. Like, I could absolutely see that on an actual hockey jersey. Like, if there was a team that came out with a logo like that, I'd be like, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I kind of like that. So from a color standpoint, it looks good, in my opinion, and from a potential hockey team, it kind of looks good as well. Number 12 is Sex Pistols. Again, not a band that I listen to a lot, familiar with, maybe one of the original punk bands. But we're going way back. But these colors are, this is kind of like a bubblegum jersey in a way. They got yellow and pink. So it's a little cartoony, it's a little silly, but when's the last time you saw pink and yellow on a hockey jersey? Ever. I can't tell you one. So just for the fact that it's unique, it's got to be a little bit high on my list. Number 11, Tenacious D. Heck yeah, I'm a big Tenacious D fan. Love Jack Black, and the movie is awesome. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. But this is really cool. I like the logo in the middle there. That is amazing. So big fan of this one, Mike. I'm glad you put this one in there. Number 10, Black Flag. Never heard of them. No idea what genre this is. No idea what era this is from. But I really like this jersey. I love that shade of blue with the black. That looks so good. I could absolutely see like the Tampa Bay Lightning kind of maybe changing the shade of blue that they use and then bringing back the black and combining this, like, picture not this exact style, but these two colors in a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey. Like, if anyone's thinking about doing concepts and stuff, if you're watching this, consider using these two shades, and then when you send it in, let's see if I can recognize it like 6 months from now and actually get around to doing it. But yeah, love these colors together, and then that little touch of red too looks good. Number 9, we got Kiss, a band I'm not really a big fan of, but this is a neat jersey because of the gradient along the bottom, and then the rest is black, so it's really simple. Lovely logo that everyone is familiar with in the middle there, and a star, the little star in the C is a very nice touch, Mike, and the shoulder patch looks pretty good, and we got the gradient as well in the collar, so a very nice balanced jersey. Number 8, Aerosmith. Fun fact again, I actually saw Aerosmith in concert in 2008, I think it was, in Prince Edward Island. Maybe it was 2007, maybe it was 2009. Can't really remember, but it was around there, roughly 12 or 13 years ago. And I like this jersey. This jersey is exactly kind of what I would expect from Aerosmith. Very simple, very nostalgic. 2 shades of red here, almost a burgundy and then a red. It looks awesome. Yeah, this is great. Number 7, Dropkick Murphys, a band I'm familiar with, but don't really listen to a lot. This totally fits into who they are, though. So maybe usually I like kind of this section of black here that holds the numbers. Feels a little big. I might actually want to see that texture come up past the elbow all the way, maybe halfway up that upper part of the arm. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Number 6, Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. Not a fan at all, actually, of Bon Jovi, but this jersey is amazing. I love the black shoulders with the red numbers on top. The rest of the jersey using red as the primary color. The logo in the middle looks fantastic. And instead of using white, using that kind of cream or off-white, this is a fantastic jersey. Regardless of the band. I don't care whose band is on here, what artist or whatever. This jersey is awesome. Number 5, Led Zeppelin. Probably one of my all-time favorite bands, if not my favorite band in the history of music. So I didn't biasly rank them first, but this is awesome. I really like the subtle gradient along the bottom. Actually, it's not really that subtle. It's pretty harsh, actually, but this feels, again, kind of like that Aerosmith one. Very simple, very nostalgic, just old school. Love the logo in the middle. Love it. Number 4, Black Sabbath. Look at the symbolism and imagery in here. It is fantastic. You can see it in the striping. You can see it in the primary logo on the shoulder patch. I like the purple. You guys know that. I'm wearing purple. Got some LA Kings merch on. And matched with the black. This is very demonic and just crazy. And that's kind of what they're known for. So, yeah, it makes sense. Number 3, the NWA. So a band that, or some artists that don't necessarily fit in with the rest of the video. But Mike has done something absolutely perfect here. If you're not familiar with early 90s culture, and LA specifically, the LA Kings having that, like this logo here that's on my shirt, but obviously colorized in black and white like they had it back in the 90s, it was, it branched outside of hockey, outside of sports. It became part of fashion culture. And not only were celebrities and movie stars wearing kind of like LA Kings merch and Lakers merch and all that stuff, but artists would as well. And the NWA have worn lots of Kings merch back in the early 90s. And this is, Mike, this is literally perfect. This is the exact jersey that it should be, because you're combining hockey and you're combining something that they've kind of worn in the past, which is that logo. Obviously, it's got NWA in there instead of the Kings, but yeah, it is. This is really perfect, Mike. You absolutely 100% completely nailed this one. Not my favorite jersey I've ever seen, definitely not, but the combination here is perfection. Number 2, Rush, a Canadian band, and a band that a lot of people seem to hate. They love to hate Rush, but I don't mind them. I like them. They're definitely not my favorite, but I do like them. But this is awesome. I specifically like the way that the logo is done in the middle, integrated with the striping. That looks so good, and it matches well being off-white. At least it looks off-white on my screen. Maybe it's actually white, but if it is off-white, it's a subtle off-white. But it looks good. It looks good with the red, looks good with the black. This is pretty much a perfect jersey. Number 1 is Queen. I love the combination between burgundy and the cream color. It is perfect, accented again by that almost kind of goldish color, orangish gold or rust. Not really rust. I guess it's not really gold either. It's pretty deep, but it matches well with the other colors, and that's difficult to do with that color. So he got the colors right. The design is really cool, and it's symmetrical. There's not different flags or symbols on either side. The font is really cool for the numbers. In the C, yeah, Queen here, and then We Will Rock You in the back of the neck. Simple striping along the bottom. Logo looks good in the middle. This is a great jersey. Absolutely fantastic jersey. So Mike, thank you so much for doing something that is completely outside the box. It is nice to look at NHL jerseys and concepts from other leagues and stuff. That is really fun. That's what I primarily do on this channel. I love it. It is so much fun. But I really love even more when people think outside the box and think about, well, what if NBA teams played hockey, or what if MLB teams played hockey, or bands like creating jerseys. I really like this stuff. So, and beyond that, I really like your creations. Like, I love the fact that we are a part of this community, and you guys have the ability to think about something, conceptualize it, create something, and then we can all look at it and think about it. Like, that is a really cool community to be a part of, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you so much for coming up with these designs, whether it's NHL related, whether it's other sports or bands, or if it's not jerseys, maybe it's helmets or it's something else. Just the fact that we can all be kind of creative and have a conversation around creativity when it comes to jerseys or helmets or whatever, and just, creation is really special to me. So I have to thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for watching me on a regular basis if you do. Hey, if you're new, would love it if you could hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Thanks for dropping by, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for another jersey concept video in this series, this marathon that's ongoing. Have a great day. Adios.